Welcome, Seeker. You arrived to the timeline 1 of our story. If you wish to continue from the very beginning, click the link in the description. The morning light, softer and less direct than the previous night's gaslight, filtered into room 22. The air, though still carrying the faint scent of stale ale, felt lighter, less oppressive than the corner dominated by the alchemist's table. Your gaze was drawn, almost magnetically, to the towering bookshelf that lined one wall. It was a chaotic yet magnificent collection of knowledge, crammed with dusty tomes on astronomy, astrology, mythology, ancient languages, and forgotten philosophies. Their spines, some leather-bound and ornate, others simple and worn, suggested centuries of accumulated wisdom. You rose from the bed, your footsteps soft on the creaking floorboards, and approached the literary treasure trove. The scent here was different, a dry, papery aroma, mingled with the faint, sweet smell of aged glue, and perhaps a hint of dried herbs pressed between pages. Your fingers traced the spines, a sense of reverence washing over you. Then, your hand was drawn to a particular volume, the book, with strange symbols. It stood out, not just for its intricate, almost glowing symbols on the spine, but for an inexplicable warmth it seemed to radiate, a subtle energy that resonated with the scroll from the previous night. You pulled it from the shelf. It was a beautifully illuminated text, its cover adorned with intricate sigils, planetary glyphs, and stylized figures that seemed to dance in the dim light. The parchment pages within were thick and creamy, filled with elegant, hand-drawn script and vibrant illustrations. This was no mere book, it was a meticulous reproduction of an esoteric order's initiation rituals. As you carefully opened it, the first pages presented themselves as a guide to the neophyte grade initiation. This was a completely new term to you, but the book explained it was the very first step into the order's deeper world, a beginner's stage. It wasn't just a simple ceremony you read, but a profound symbolic experience of death and rebirth. The idea was to shed your old self, to wash away the everyday concerns, and prepare yourself to become a new, enlightened being. Before you could even enter the Order's physical temple, the book explained, a rigorous internal cleansing was required. It described the candidate's journey, starting with meditations on the 4 fundamental elements. You learned to focus on earth for grounding your purpose, air for clearing your thoughts and speaking clearly, water for understanding your emotions and trusting your instincts, and fire for strengthening your willpower and transforming yourself. Each element came with its own specific visualizations and practices, all designed to balance these inner forces. You also read about a ritual bath, meant not just to clean the body, but to symbolically wash away the impurities of the ordinary world, readying the soul for its sacred path. The ultimate goal was to empty your mind and spirit, making you a blank canvas, ready to absorb the profound truths the Order sought to unveil. The mystery of it all was utterly captivating. The thought of a secret society, a chosen group of individuals united by a shared quest for profound knowledge, resonated deeply with your own sense of being adrift. To be part of something so ancient, so hidden, to walk a path alongside others who understood the whispers of the universe. It was an alluring prospect. You imagined hushed ceremonies, a shared understanding, a collective pursuit of enlightenment. It was a stark contrast to the isolation you'd felt since your unexpected arrival. The book then detailed the profound importance of planetary alignments and zodiac signs in timing these rituals. It explained that the entire cosmos was like a giant, living clockwork, and that by understanding and aligning with its intricate rhythms of life, you could unlock its inherent power. The movements of planets, the changing phases of the moon, the sun's journey through the 12 zodiac constellations. These weren't just random events, but a grand, divine symphony. By understanding these cosmic rhythms, the ebb and flow of their energies, and the subtle influences of each zodiac period, an adept could work in harmony with the universe, tapping into its forces and choosing the perfect moments for their spiritual work. This philosophy saw humanity as deeply connected to the stars, a small reflection of the vast universe, where personal transformation was woven into the very fabric of cosmic harmony. The neophyte, you learned, was guided through a symbolic journey that mirrored the creation of the universe itself, from the initial emptiness to the emergence of the physical world. The fifth element, spirit or akasha, was hinted at as the connecting force, the pure essence that bound everything together, the divine spark within all creation. The entire initiation was designed to impress upon the candidate the cyclical nature of existence, that death leads to rebirth, that chaos eventually gives way to order, and that consciousness is constantly evolving. It was a profound system of philosophy, presented as a form of ritual magic, promising the chance to become more than just a human. You spent hours absorbed in this book, the morning sun climbing higher, illuminating the intricate details of the tarot sketches. You began to understand the structured system of this order, how important ritual and symbolism were to their practices, and how they combined ancient wisdom from kabbalah, astrology, alchemy, and Egyptian magic. Crucially, you grasped the deep connection between the Tree of Life's 22 paths and the 22 major arcana of the tarot, especially through the author's vision for what would become a widely recognized deck. You started to understand the more traditional, mystical and spiritual side of Hermeticism, a path of quiet contemplation and inner work, a journey of self-discovery. Just as you were about to delve into a particularly complex diagram of the Tree of Life, a soft knock echoed at the door. Your heart leaped, startled. Before you could respond, the door creaked open. It was Florence, the waitress from yesterday. Her bright, intelligent eyes, framed by striking auburn hair that seemed to catch the light, sparkled as she entered. She carried a tray laden with a hearty Victorian breakfast, thick slices of ham, scrambled eggs, a steaming pot of tea, and warm buttered toast. "Good morning, dearie," she chirped, her voice surprisingly bright. "I had a feeling you'd be up with the sun, delving into these old books. Many interesting characters have spent hours in this very room, you know. I had a feeling the same would happen to you, so I thought you'd appreciate a proper London breakfast to fuel your mind." She set the tray down on a small side table with a clatter, the aroma of cooked food filling the room. "There you are. Enjoy. And don't you worry about the bill for the room or the meals, it's all accounted for. Wisdom is a gift given to the wise, after all. Now, if you'll excuse me, duties call downstairs." With a nod and a kindly smile she turned and left, closing the door softly behind her. You took a moment to appreciate the thoughtful gesture, the unexpected warmth in this bewildering new world. The breakfast was simple but delicious, and the hot tea warmed you from the inside, preparing you for the mysteries that lay ahead. You had barely finished the last bite when another soft knock echoed at the door. Your heart gave a familiar jolt. Before you could respond, the door creaked open, and a figure stood framed in the dim hallway light. He was of medium height, with a neat, scholarly appearance, and his eyes, though sharp and intelligent, held a gentle, almost melancholic quality. It was him. The man whose meticulous notes you had just been reading. His gaze swept the room, taking in the bookshelf, the table, and finally you, standing beside the open book with symbols, the tarot sketches clearly visible. A flicker of surprise, quickly replaced by a polite, almost reserved curiosity, crossed his features. "Ah," he said, his voice quiet, almost hushed yet clear and precise. "I see room 22 has a visitor. I confess, I did not expect to find someone so deeply engrossed in these particular studies this morning." He stepped fully into the room, closing the door softly behind him. "This chamber, you see, is something of a quiet retreat for certain members of an esoteric order, a place for contemplation, away from the clamor of the city." He gestured towards the book in your hands. "May I ask, Who are you, and how did you come to be here, with these materials?" His tone was courteous, but held an underlying current of careful inquiry, a scholar's precise demand for information. "I am, shall we say, remarkably attuned to the subtle currents that flow through this establishment. There are synchronicities in this world, seeker, patterns and coincidences that are not truly random. They are signs, whispers from the universe, guiding those who are perceptive enough to notice. And your presence here, in this very room, has resonated rather strongly on my inner ear, if you understand my meaning. It suggested that there was indeed more to your presence than met the eye, a truth that compelled my visit. Your mind raced, trying to formulate a plausible explanation for your inexplicable presence. You decided to offer the same partial truth you had given the mysterious man, hoping it would resonate differently with this scholar's measured demeanor. I don't recall anything before yesterday," you began, your voice a little strained, but you pushed through. "It's as if I simply appeared. I found myself lost in the streets, and then a mysterious older man. He led me here to this tavern, and somehow he arranged for this room." You paused, watching his reaction intently. He spoke of secret societies, of ancient wisdom. And then, he vanished. And then, "I found these books," you confessed, a genuine note of fascination in your voice, gesturing around the room at the overflowing shelves. "This room, these writings, they are utterly captivating. I've never encountered anything quite like it. They feel profoundly important." "Might I ask," you interjected, "is the order you speak of the same one the mysterious man mentioned yesterday?" He listened patiently, his head tilted slightly. He walked slowly towards the bookshelf, his fingers lightly touching the spines of the books, as if communing with them. "A mysterious older man, you say? And a sudden arrival with no memory?" He turned back to you, his expression unreadable. "There is indeed something unusual about you. A certain unfamiliarity in your bearing, your speech, perhaps even your very presence. It speaks of a journey, a displacement that is not merely geographical. Tell me, then, what is it you truly seek, finding yourself amidst these arcane texts? Is it knowledge for its own sake, or do you harbor a deeper, perhaps more personal quest?" His gaze was gentle, yet probing, attempting to discern your true motives without overtly challenging your story. He seemed to be testing the waters, gauging your sincerity and your capacity for understanding. He picked up one of the tarot sketches you had been examining, his gaze softening slightly as he looked at the intricate drawing of the High Priestess. "And this mysterious man, he sounds like a figure of profound influence, one who moves through the currents of destiny. His appearance often heralds a significant turning point for those he encounters." He paused, then looked at you directly. "I sense in you a genuine seeking, a thirst for knowledge that transcends the superficial. Perhaps your arrival here, your encounter with this man, is not merely happenstance, but a part of a greater design. A design that, if understood, might even shed light on your own bewildering circumstances." He placed the sketch back carefully, a subtle acknowledgement in his eyes. "The order you have glimpsed in these pages, and yes, the one your mysterious guide alluded to, is a sacred trust. It is a system designed to guide the seeker through the labyrinth of the self, to unlock the divine spark within. I believe its true power lies in its capacity for spiritual transformation, for the purification of the soul, and for the profound understanding of universal symbols. The rituals are not mere theatrical displays, they are living keys to inner states, to the very fabric of creation. And the tarot," he gestured to the sketches, "is a profound mirror, reflecting the archetypal journey of consciousness, a map of the soul's ascent through the tree of life." He stepped closer, his gaze earnest. "I believe that your unique circumstances, your apparent lack of prior memory, your very essence, suggests you are a vessel unburdened by conventional preconceptions. You are perhaps uniquely positioned to receive the true light of the Order, to understand its deeper mystical purpose, rather than its superficial allure of power. I would offer you a path, not of shortcuts or forced revelations, but a journey of true initiation, a gradual unveiling of the mysteries. It is a path of dedication, of study, and of profound spiritual growth. His gaze became thoughtful, turning to the window where the gas lamps cast long shadows. You see, Seeker, the world is filled with patterns, with coincidences that are not truly random. We call them synchronicities. He turned back to you, his eyes alight with a quiet intensity. These are signs, whispers from the universe, guiding those who are perceptive enough to notice. Your very presence here, your meeting with that mysterious man, the fact you found yourself drawn to these very books, these are not chance occurrences. These are the subtle hands of destiny at play, nudging you towards a path you are meant to walk. He leaned in slightly. Consider numerology, for instance. The ancient understanding that numbers hold vibrational energies, that they are not merely quantities, but symbolic keys to the cosmos. The date of your arrival, perhaps even the numbers of this room, if you were to delve into their esoteric meaning, might reveal hidden connections, a deeper pattern to your sudden appearance. Intuition, Seeker, is the ability to perceive these synchronicities, to feel the currents of fate before they fully manifest. Your intuition, I suspect, is remarkably keen. Now, let us speak for a moment of the Tree of Life itself, the scholar continued, his voice shifting to a more explanatory tone, as if lecturing a rapt student. He moved towards the bookshelf, pulling out a large, intricately drawn diagram. It is not merely a diagram, you see, but a living, dynamic model of the universe and the human soul. Imagine it as a cosmic blueprint, a map of creation itself, from the divine source to the manifest world. It consists of 10 spheres, called Sephiroth, which represent different emanations of the divine, different aspects of consciousness and reality. Think of them as stages of existence, or perhaps, divine qualities. He pointed to different parts of the diagram with a scholarly finger. At the very top, you have Kether, the crown, representing pure, undifferentiated divine will, the boundless source. Then it descends through Chokmah, wisdom, the first flash of creative intelligence, and Bina, understanding, where that wisdom takes form and is given structure. These three form the supernal triangle, the realm of pure ideas, concepts that exist before they manifest. Further down you encounter the lower Sephiroth, he explained, tracing connections on the diagram. Chesed, representing mercy or benevolence, the expansive force of love and generosity. Opposite it is Gebura, severity or justice, the contractile force, boundaries and discipline. These two balance each other. Then comes Tifereth, beauty or harmony, which is often seen as the heart of the tree, where the human soul truly resides, balancing all the forces above it. It's the point of true spiritual insight. Below that, we have Netzach, victory or eternity, associated with emotion, art and passion, and Hod, splendor or intellect, representing thought, reason, and communication. These two are complementary pairs, like emotion and logic. Finally, at the base, he concluded, his finger resting on the lowest sphere, Yesod, the foundation, which is the subconscious mind, the astral realm, and the repository of all forms before they become solid. It's the filter through which divine energy passes before entering our world. And at the very bottom, Malkuth, the kingdom, representing the physical world, our tangible reality, where all the divine energies finally manifest. Each Sephira, he elaborated, his gaze fixed on the diagram, corresponds to a planetary influence, an angelic host, a part of the human psyche, and a step on the soul's descent into matter, or its ascent back to the divine. And the paths connecting them? These are the lessons, the experiences, the trials, and the transformations one undergoes on that journey. By understanding the Tree of Life, one can understand the universe, the flow of creation, and most importantly, one's own place within it. It becomes a personal roadmap for spiritual evolution, a ladder to enlightenment. His passion for the subject was palpable. He then reached into the inner pocket of his conservative suit jacket, producing a small, tightly rolled scroll of parchment, tied with a simple black ribbon. It was similar in feel to the one the mysterious man had dropped, but smaller, more discreet. "If you choose to accept this path," he said, pressing the cool, smooth scroll into your hand, "this will guide you. It contains an encrypted map, Seeker, but not to a known address. No, this map will lead you on a quest, through the labyrinthine heart of London itself, a test of your ingenuity and spirit." His gaze became distant, almost reverent as he spoke of the city. Victorian London, for all its gaslight and grit, is a city woven from paradox. It is the crucible of scientific progress, a marvel of industry and innovation, where new marvels of engineering rise alongside ancient shadowed alleys. Yet beneath its veneer of order, it pulses with a hidden history, a character both grand and grotesque. It is a place of teeming millions, of bustling markets and hushed, velvet-lined drawing rooms, of grand carriages and forgotten street urchins. Its very stones whisper tales of emperors and paupers, of inventors and madmen, of saints and sinners. And within its depths, secrets and mysteries abound, waiting to be unearthed by those with discerning eyes. But be warned, Seeker, for this city, like all places of great power, is also fraught with dangers, unseen currents and shadowed figures, who would rather secrets remain buried. He returned his gaze to you, a glint in his eye. "This map," he continued, gesturing to the scroll in your hand, "will lead you through this city, not just through its physical streets, but through its symbolic landscapes, its forgotten lore. It is a puzzle designed to test your intellect and your dedication. The key to its decoding lies within the very notes you have been examining. The Kabbalistic correspondences, the symbolic language of the tarot, the intricate diagrams of the tree of life. All the tools you need are already here, within these pages." He gave a gentle, encouraging nod. "It is a test, perhaps, but a necessary one. The path to true knowledge is rarely without its intellectual challenges. Should you prove worthy, should you decipher its secrets, you will not only uncover a deeper truth, but you will find yourself among fascinating individuals, minds alight with knowledge, ideas, and the very ambition of becoming more than human. A true brotherhood of seekers." With that, he extended his hand for a formal shake. "My name is Arthur Edward Waite," he said, his grip firm and sincere. "I look forward to seeing what path destiny unfolds for you, Seeker." He gave a quiet, respectful bow, his gaze lingering for a moment as if imparting a silent blessing. Then, with the same scholarly composure with which he had entered, Arthur Edward Waite turned and exited the room, the door clicking softly shut behind him, leaving you alone once more. You stand in the quiet room, the small, encrypted scroll, a tangible weight in your hand. Its contents promise a path to the heart of this esoteric order, a true initiation into its profound mysteries, but it demands intellectual effort and dedication. Arthur Edward Waite's words resonate within you, a promise of spiritual integrity, and a journey of deep study. He recognized something unique in your presence, hinting at a greater design guided by synchronicity, and the subtle whispers of the universe. Yet, the memory of the mysterious man, his calm wisdom, and his enigmatic instruction to trust the unknown, still tugs at you. Could he provide another path, a different truth, one that bypasses even the intellectual rigors of this offering? The choice is stark. Embrace the disciplined mystical path offered by Arthur Edward Waite, or wait, trusting that the unknown will reveal the way to the mysterious man. How will you proceed? First option. Commit to following Arthur Edward Waite. Begin deciphering the scroll to seek the unknown location for a true initiation. Or, second option, do not commit to the scholar, instead wait for a sign from the mysterious man, trusting the unknown to find him somehow.